It can affect anybody. It doesn't matter if you're rich, it doesn't matter where you come from, it affects all walks of life.
People can get out of it. You know, it has a lot to do with all kinds of stuff. Not just about our neighborhoods. It's a way for people to just not feel, really.
They said, I bet in almost every case, I can try this and stop. It's not a big deal. But they couldn't. They steal. They do bad things. Are they bad people? No.
Being in the Marine Corps, it was a 24/7 job, so it's like my family life, I didn't have a whole lot of family time. So the times I was, at home or doing stuff, it would be really precious to me because like when my first daughter was born, she's 20 years old now, I saw her for maybe 2 weeks and then bam, I was on deployment. So I'd be gone for 6 months at a time. I'd come back and my daughter was just grown. It was like, wow, where did all this time go? My family and stuff like that, it meant a lot to me. And with addiction and being an addict and everything like that, that's the first thing I did was alienate myself from my family.
That, I'd never been really involved with like heroin or anything, ended up being, using it, and I sampled it, I think just the pressure of having 3 kids and like, a lot of work and trying to support the whole thing, buying houses and stuff like that just got, I don't know, my coping skills must not have been good because, my use escalated and probably first denied that I even had a problem with it, It became kind of apparent after a while. And I pretty much pulled away from them, I stopped seeing my kids and everything,
First I had to find out what was wrong with me. I didn't know what was wrong with me. I had no idea, because I had great plans and goals and ideas and I had scholarships and had a great family, but I always felt I needed relief from something. And I found that in drugs for me, and alcohol.
I was in high school and just always had tons of friends and doing everything, and I tried cocaine when I was 18, and I was still able to kind of keep things together. I was doing a lot of promotional work and stuff in Seattle. I worked for a radio station down there, and so did that. Just expanding my horizons, but never really. I think I just had that fear of stepping out of my comfort zone, and so drugs became my comfort zone and something that I was always able to depend on.
Lindsay was really almost a perfect child. She had lots of friends, she had good grades, she was beautiful. She told the truth, she was dependable. She had 3 jobs at one point when she was a senior and right after she graduated. She had a Cadillac, she bought with her own money. She had, the best purses, shoes, and that was important to her. Life was good. Life was really good before addiction.
The beginning, it was like, okay, I can do this, and it helped me out. It made me so I didn't, feel any feelings. But really, the whole thing is after I was coming down, your feelings are still there. You're just putting a Band-Aid on it, and it's like a temporary fix because after you get off of it, all those feelings and everything that you've been suppressing is like 200-fold because you feel everything and all this stuff you have to deal with. It's like you have all this weight and all this baggage that you've piled on yourself. And the first thing they want to do is, well, I can go use it again and I'll just put a Band-Aid on it.
During my time at Los, I ended up jumping into another relationship and having a couple more kids. And, during that time, I really my use started to pick up. I think I had some issues that I didn't deal with from.
I was watching this road of pain for her, but when I would ask her about it, she always said everything's fine. It's all good. I'm doing fine. Don't worry. Everything's okay. Well, then she lost her car. I tried to save that for her, went to the dealership, and she was too far into payments that she'd missed. I paid her car insurance, and I really thought if you pay off a lot of those and you help them get back on track, that really, that'll turn her life around. She's just off track is all. Because of course I asked her and she was not using drugs, she said. So I watched her life starting to spiral, And that was probably phase 2 of the beginning again of this road, this nightmare road that was going to follow.
There was no other struggle that I really cared about except for drugs. I mean, rarely did you sleep, but if you did sleep, then in the morning you just woke up sick and you needed your drugs. And so my baby's dad was a drug dealer, so it was just always readily there. And I knew I needed him out of my life, but I couldn't do it. And it started to be where I was trying to be a mom during the day, and he would still support my drug habit, so I was able to kind of keep it together like that. I didn't have to go out and do a lot of stealing and stuff like that to get what I wanted.
When I ended up hurting my back on the job, I ended up going to Illinois, getting Illinois, and I ended up going to get back surgery done, and then I also went to Seattle Pain Center. Well, when going to Seattle Pain Center, the doctors there after I had my back surgery would see me every 3 months and just write me prescriptions for oxycodone, Oxycontin, and all that stuff. And next thing I know, I was knee deep into having to take pills every day, and I didn't think I had a problem because it was a pill. I thought, hey, this is just like any other, medicine. I'm just taking a medicine to stay good or whatever. But then when I noticed I was trying to get rid of it, not take them anymore, I was stuck. And then next thing I know, I was using meth again, and then I started using heroin because of the fact that I couldn't keep up with the pill addiction. I was getting 100 pills a month from the Seattle Pain Center, and it wasn't enough.
When I started using opiates, it's kind of I became physically dependent and, psychologically dependent, and my life went to crap. It went bad.
Each time she said she could do it herself, she was strong. I really believe that. I did, because she was a strong girl. We have a strong family. So that made sense to me that she could do it herself. She detoxed at home a couple times. That was absolutely horrifying. It was something I certainly had never experienced or knew anything about. But when she would go through that, she was fine. I'm never going to do this again. And on we go. But the oxy call got stronger and stronger.
Some people are like, I just don't want to enable them, and I just have to be no part of their life. And I really think that we're learning a lot more about how cutting people off completely doesn't necessarily do what they think it's going to do. They think the tough love thing is the way to go. And if my mom hadn't been here for me when I got out of jail, I probably would have ended up not being able to make it.
And when I came back, my wife had left everything in its place, nothing had moved, and she opened the door and she said that, she knew what I was going through and she wanted to make sure I was clean before I came in, and accepting me like that, it was a huge thing. For her being there for me, I never thought in a million years that she would wait for me that long.
And so we had a man, let's call him Steve. He lived in the alley. And I kind of was just getting to know him, and he was very dirty and unapproachable to most. And over a period of time, I created a relationship with him. He's my friend in the alley, and he comes by and he tells me about great dreams he's gonna have and where he's been in his life. He was a masonry for 30 years. He built most brick houses around here and fell off a ladder, broke his back, got addicted to pain pills, and then that led to heroin. And now the heroin doesn't even work anymore, and it's a way of life for him. But he went to Detox, and when he got out of Detox, he got off the bus and he walked here. And he came in the front door and he looked like a whole new man. His eyes were clear, he was clean, and he was smiling, and he rarely smiles, and we were here for him, and he knew we were here for him. And we don't do any counseling here, we don't do any casework, we just treat people with respect, and we just hold people.
Yeah, it is, just making everybody feel like, they're part of the community, and they're valued. It takes a while to come back up, a lot of people are really, when they first come in, it's, they're broken, and it takes a while just to feel like you're important or whatever.
We live one way for a period of time, and then we have this whole new life. We're emotional, we're up, we're down, but we're confronted with life, and then we become, we have tons of free time. And so that's kind of where we come in, is we're a safe space for people to spend their time or find a job search, create relationships with other people to go out into the community. But what I found is we're only open a short period of time, and there's other places only open a short period of time, and it's when people get bored and they have idle time, what do you do? And so how do you do something you don't know how to do? You go back to what you know how to do. Drug addiction and alcoholism is a symptom of a deeper problem, and so what's the deeper problem is we don't know how to socialize with people. We don't know how to grocery shop. We don't know how to look you in the eyes and have a conversation. So life skills, training skills. For me, it's job training. I think a lot of people have this desire to work, but they don't know what good stuff is. And so when good stuff happens, a lot of people turn and go the other way.
They have a glimmer of getting themselves on the road to healing. They know it's out there, but it is so far out of their reach as they reach over and grab that meth pipe or the heroin. All of a sudden, everything's gone.
I was raised thinking recovery is drugs and alcohol, but really it's isolation, it's mental health, it's all kinds of things. And recovery takes people. It takes it's hard work. It's a struggle. It's not permanent. It's an everyday thing for a lot of people, and people fall down.
A lot of times, like with addiction and stuff, just because people haven't experienced, they have a negative, they see somebody that's an addict and they see all this stuff going on, but that's a person too. It doesn't matter where you are in life, we're all people and we all have struggles. Somebody may have a struggle with something else in their life. Addiction is a struggle too.
If you can start with love, you're able to hold someone to their best. You're able to confront them because they know that you care about them. They know that you want the best for them. And so for me, it starts at home. My goal is to have people take this home with them, what they learn here, take that to your family, take this to your friends, go practice it. We'll let you fall down here, but out there, let them know that, be loud. I just want people to be loud about it. We've been hidden for so long, people in recovery. We need to be quiet, we're anonymous or whatever. But I think we need to share with each other that you can get better. You can have a whole new life.
I don't know what the answer is, but I think people need to stand up and say, we're going to stop this nightmare. We're going to come together as a community and we're going to help people. And we're not going to stop until we're done.